Hello there. Today I'm in Lubiara, which is a fraction of Caprino Veronese in province of Verona in Italy, and I would like to show you approach to the Falesia that's called Placca del Forte, and basically also the Falesia, to show you how more or less to get there, give you the visual experience as if you already been to this Falesia. And I will start with the place where I parked my car, and basically it is just in front of a vineyard, right? Behind me there is Monte Baldo, a big mountain group. Yeah, let's get onto the hike which brings us to the Falesia. As we're approaching the path, there is a little church-like thing. We are being advised to not speak blasphemy, which Italians take pretty seriously. This thing means that there is a newborn baby and it's a girl. So the beginning of the approach is asphalt road, which just till the end of the village, it brings us to the strada forestale, to a forest road, which will take most of the hike, and then there will be a path. So it is the 1st of October and it's pretty warm. I actually already regret that I've got this hard under t-shirt. So here is the forest road, so you might want to have your approach shoes on. At this point I always have doubts where should I go next, and it is right. At this point we take the left using this sign, Sentiero Naturalistico, and now we follow the path. Although it is October, it is still pretty hot here. It's a sunny day. It was around 20 degrees in the shade, but here it feels pretty hot. This makes it, let's say, not a summer Falesia, not a summer crag, because even if you arrive in the evening and you manage to climb, but before you arrive you're gonna suffer because of the heat on the approach. So we're almost there. The path brings us to this sign. It says Placca del Forte. It is the Falesia that we're going to. Mitria is another Falesia. So the path brings us to the crest of this mountain. Here it will go to the fort, and we'll go down there. Below there is Adige Valley, and there is you can probably hear and the highway A22, A22. This it's going to be visible just now. Above me there is the castle, not the castle, the fort, and just underneath there is the crag. It's 50 meters and we are there. And here is the crag. Ciao! The path brings us to the beginning of the sector, to the leftmost part of it. Here you can see it's pretty well organized, Malaysia. It even got its own sign. In the beginning there are the 4Bs and 5Cs. Let me show you the names of the routes. I think that every route here has got a plate with a name, so it is actually easy to find. The style of climbing is usually slab, which means that it is that there will not be many overhangs and it will be quite technical. It's the kind of climbing that I like most. There are many routes that are like 6A, 6B, and they are very nice. For example, this one, L'Amico, friend. I did it in many attempts. After many attempts, it is written 6B plus. It was a historical 6B, but it is very hard and satisfying. As far as the guidebook is concerned, this Monte Baldo rock from Versante Sud is, I think, probably the only one that is available, and it's pretty good. I can definitely recommend it. I got the list of the routes and the topo. The thing that I like about Versante Sud is that all their topos they look the same, so I don't need to get used to a new kind of topo. Yeah, I can recommend this guidebook. Il Segreto del Forte is a 6C. So as you may have probably noticed, the Valencia is situated on a ledge. Basically, it is pretty narrow, especially when there are many people around. Sometimes it can be pretty packed, so there are these bolts that you can use to tie yourself, and in case something happens, not to fall down, because it's not very safe otherwise. In the left side of Valencia, in the beginning, the first routes are 4s, and usually they are all taken when people come. Usually they are taken because they are the easiest ones, but they are actually there is a problem. My wife put a note on the guidebook that the bolts are pretty far, and you should be advised, because it might be a problem, because if there is a person who is not very good at climbing, let's say, or doesn't have much experience, for that person it would feel a little bit like free soloing at times, which is not what you want to do when you're on the low levels. But the thing is that the holds are good, and the bolts are in the right places. So in general, I mean, it is safe, but it's challenging because the bolts are far. Here's the start, and there is the next bolt. It's like 2 meters. When coming from the parking, if we get here, we go straight, we get to Placca del Forte, we go down, we go to Mitria. The path gets increasingly wilder here, so I recommend using the sticks. Now, as I'm on top of the Mitria Crag, I can show you some anchors that I can actually see. I can even touch it if I want from here. As you can see, they are good chains, new, but they got the rings, so you're gonna have to do manovra di sosta. You're gonna have to untie yourself and to redo the knot while you're using something like a lounge. A little bit more of this horrible path and we're done. Hooray! Here we are. This is Mitria. The path brings to the rightmost of the sector, rightmost part of the sector, and the rightmost route is Polamida Dateria. It's 4C according to the guidebook. Then there is Interlax 6A plus. Judging by the name, it has something to do with the slab, and if you take a look at it, yeah, you can understand that it is a slab. Speaking about a guidebook, I'm using the same Montebaldo rock, and I think it is pretty complete and accurate also in this case. Now that I'm leaving and the fallacy is there, I got lost a little bit and I went too much forward, and I didn't notice this sign, like the stones. It's called Ometto a little man, so use it to get to the right path, and it will go here. So to sum it up, Placca del Forte is a slab falacia with good parking, around 30 minutes approach, and intense hike, also take into account that it's on the western southern, so in summer it's hot, so it's not a summer falacia. I mean, it is possible to try. We did it a couple of times. It was harsh, but the good part that it is exposed to east south, so again, in summer until, I don't know, 6 in the evening, there is still sun, so it's hot. But it makes it a good winter Falesia and mid-season, which means that, like, even on a hot day, you can climb after the sun goes out in the afternoon, I think after 1 or after 2. And if it is cold, you can climb in the morning. There are grades from 4 something. 4s have long bolting, so it might be not suitable for people who are not strong and do not have good skills in leading. So I mean, it's not for beginners, let's say. But top rope is fine. Then also, actually, the bolting is adequate and the holds are good, so it can be a good starting point to learn to lead as well. Highest grade is probably 7A. On the guide it is 7B, I'm not sure. Well, the routes are interesting. Some of them are even very nice. I mentioned one of them or two. And just under the Falesia del Forte, there is another crag called Mitria, which is smaller, slightly different, but all the time it is still slab with grades from 4 to 6C, where 6C is kind of easy, so I would say that it's an easy Falesia. It's good for beginners, but the approach to the Mitria part is quite challenging, and I would say even dangerous if you are not very good with, like, there are some places where just stones, and I would avoid it if you are not sure if you can handle such a path. Then you will most likely have to use you will have to untie, because the chains often are not the one that you can open. There are rings or closed binders. I think some of them might be open binders, but I wouldn't rely on that. Use the guidebook Monte Baldo Rock. I don't know if it is in English, if it is available in English, but I've got it in Italian. And the locations will be in the description. Thank you. See you in the next episode.